Hey everyone, welcome back to Netcode-Hub channel. I am Frederick and I'm happy to have you here today. We are going to do some designs. Are you happy with that? Let's show our design skills today. We're going to look at how to design a screen onboarding for a bookshop. Before we jump into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you will never miss out our upcoming content. Also, if you enjoy what you see today, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And stick around until the end because trust me, you want to miss this. Before we get started, I want to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to each and every one who has been supporting me so far. Whether you're a long-time subscriber or you're a new viewer today, I appreciate you being part of this community. I also offer some coaching to those beginners, beginners who are interested in .NET technologies. So maybe you can hit me up if you want to be part of it. When we are done with this project, I'll put at the GitHub so you can just check the description and you see it over there. Alright, without further ado, let's jump into it. Before we go to that, I want to show you what I did, and that is what you're going to repeat today. You're not going to waste time. A few minutes, you're going to be done. You could see from here, there's just a bookshop. I chose bookshop. You could choose many things that you want to do for. But for me, I did for bookshop because I had images for bookshop. So I wanted to do it for bookshop. Okay. Now you can see I have this image over here. And we have this, everything is straight to the point. You have this button. And you can see we have this indicator. Actually, this indicator is a customized indicator. It is not the other one that you see. The default one, it is a circular form or a square. This is a rectangular shape, right? Well, or a bar. Okay. So you can see from here, we have this bar over here. And these represent the number of views or carousel items that we have. So currently, we have 3. And that is what we have indicated over here. I can just swap like this to go to the next one. As you can see, we have the current highlighted area, move to the middle one. And I can also move to the last one. As soon as, okay, yes, I'm back again. So let's see. All right, so let's go to the, okay, so let's see. That's right. So we're in the middle one. And let's see the last one with that. So okay, so as soon as we get to the last one, the button here text changes, get started. Now, if I click on this, it's going to navigate us to another component, and that is a view. It is just a book's home page. I did not implement that. I left it out for you to do that. What I'm going to show you today is how to create this. Should I say beautiful? Is it nice to you? The onboarding screen. So you can just go back. Now you see you can't loop it again. You can't loop, but you can just return, but you can't loop it. So you can see as soon as it gets back, you can see it changes here. It changes. And you can see you have check next feature. We have it as well. You can't loop, but as soon as you try to get the last one, the second one here, the third one, then event is going to get fired. Then it's going to have this text changed. Okay, so you have get started. And let's see, if I come back and I click on check next feature, see what happened. If I click on this, you can see that it has moved to the next one. But as soon as I click on get started, it has to open us to the page. And that is the book page that we are in now. You can see, so this button is serving 2 purposes. First one is doing navigation. And the second part is, all right, it is same navigation, isn't it? But the first part here, it is switching through the carousel view items. And the last part here, it is also pointing to a page or a view. So that is what I'm talking about. You see, maybe if you're not seeing it, if I click on this, you can see it is moving to the next one. It is moving to the next one. But here, it is pointing to a view. Check what? Yeah. So that's what you want to do. But before we get started on this, at least, these are images. You have to have a nice image for yourself. You can just get that from the internet and it's all over there. So you can just get kids reading books, isn't it? Okay, so cartoons reading book, and just type in that and I get these images. Now, when you have them, the other way around here, it is also use Photoshop. If you know how to do that, or you can even search on the internet and I'll get images which have transparent backgrounds. So get transparent background so we can have a design in this form. Okay, so transparent background, then you get it. Maybe if you don't know how to use Photoshop to just remove the background of an image, put it at the comment section there, and maybe I'll have a separate video for that. We are not into graphics, right? But maybe I know how to do that, so I'm going to show you if you ask me to do that. Okay, so we have this set, and let's see, so we have our images, and that's what we're going to do. I have this project created already, so it's better I take you through than starting the whole project again. What do you think? Maybe if you want me to start the whole project again, let me know. But first of all, let's go through this, okay? And in case this couldn't fit what you want, maybe next I can just put a comment section. So instead of going through projects, we start it afresh. But let's see, this is a very simple one, so let's see what we are doing. Now you can see from when you go to Solution Explorer, so first of all, you have to create project. That's right, that's the first thing to do. .NET MAUI project. But the question is, do you know how to create projects? I know you do so. So if you don't know, then it's very quick. You click on the file, new project, then. So let's stop this. Click on the file, then new projects, you see. So you launch a Visual Studio. With this, you're going to use .NET 7.0. So any version of Visual Studio that you have, as far as you have .NET Framework installed, you can work with it. Choose .NET MAUI, you can just get from here, and I'll click on it. Give it a name. Click on next, choose the framework of 7.0, and I'll click on create. This is very simple. Okay, so when you have this project created, the very first thing to do here is, I keep saying the very first thing, but this is not the very first thing. The next thing that you have to do here is install package. And here we're going to use community2kit.maui package. Okay, so I want to use the MAUI package so we can have this set. Let me try to open the installed version. So that is demo screen. Okay, so that is this one. Now you can see when you check this status bar, we have it colored. We have a custom color, right? So let's wait for it to get open. Then we can now check the status bar. Yeah, so you can see we have our own color. We can do that by installing this community2kit.maui NuGet package. So right click on the dependencies and I get installed. The name of the package is here. community2kit.maui. So there's a package that I need to install. Current version here is 6.1.0. Install that. Now, as soon as you're done, you go to the myprogram.cs file, and you can see I have a set here. So you make sure you put on this, else you're going to have an error when you try to run or use this package. Okay, so let's assume you are done. If you haven't, please pause the video, try to download it, and put it over here, and that's all. Okay, so now we have it. The next thing to do here is we're going to create our model, and this model is about this book. We're going to have what you saw here, the book title, the book image, and name what? We have the book image, we have the book title, book description. That's the thing that we need. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, I think 3 properties. Let's check it out. So when you go to Solution Explorer, you can see I made a folder called View Models. And let's check it out. So this is a view model. So we have this book model here. But first of all, these are the icons or the images. You can see this is the image 1, this is the image 3, we have the image 2, and this image 1. All these images, they are transparent. So you make sure you have a transparent images. And I have this button arrow. So this is the arrow that I'm going to use. When you check the body, you can see you have this arrow here. Yeah, so that's what that is. You have to get that as well. Okay, now you have this. You have, what is your model? That's the book model. We have these 4 properties: ID, title, description, and image. They are all string except the ID, which are integer. For now, we are not storing to database. Okay, this is just an onboarding, so I'm going to show you how to do that. If you want to have a look at getting these images from database and looping them from database, I can just help you do that. So maybe if you want to do that, put at the comment section, let me know. Now you can see we have this. These are properties, so we need to populate this. By doing that, we're going to create our view model. And that is a book view model. As you can see from here, we put it at the same folder. Here, we're not doing separation of concern because here it's just a simple one. But in normal case, you have to create a folder and name it as model so you can actually group them. You don't have to put books as a model in the view models folder. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay, so maybe you can just do that, but just for a demo purpose. Now, when you create this book view model as a class, as you can see, this is what we are doing. We create a method known as load default books. Now, with this load default books, we give it a definition over here. And you can see before we come into this, we have a list. This is not a list, it is rather observable collection of books. So you can see this is a list of books container that we are creating. Now we need to populate this. So in order to populate it, we create a method and we call this method or invoke this method as soon as this page initializes. So that is exactly what we are doing here. Now when you come here, we check first. You can see this is going to run all the time because as soon as we try to load, it's going to load the whole content again. So we want to check if the book's container contains any item, clear before you add these 3 items. If not, it's going to repeat itself. So you can see that from here, what we are doing is we have this, we're adding a new item to this list. We have this ID populated. This is a hard-coded data, ID 1, and you can see ID 2 and 3. We have the image as image1.png. I just may copy this from the image name over here. And you can see this is the images root or folder that you must put all your images in. So you can see image1.png, 2, 3, and etc. I have them set here. And you can see I have title and description also added. So as soon as the page loads, we have this method called and we have this container being added or received these items. Okay, now in order to do this, what you're going to do first, you have to, let's forget about this. You come back to this later on. So we call this method when the page initializes in the constructor. That's fine. Okay. Now let's go to the page where we can just bind this. So we go back to solution and we check our main page .xml.css. That's the code behind file. You see from here, we have to inject this over here. And after injecting, we have to bind the context to this book view. Okay, now when we do this, we can now go back to the book, the main page example content. Now this markup, we can just include the namespace of the view model. Then we specify the data type, as you can see from here. The data type that we created was book view model. Okay, so after doing that, this is the first thing that we are doing. We are going to create a grid and we are setting up to 2 rows for now, star and auto. And we have this carousel as 1. So this is a carousel. We have it one. You can see we have carousel here, and that is the first one, as you can see from this. And defaultly, you can see this is, although we have row definition for star and auto, we did not specify the row definition for this, but the first one here is going to be the star. Now, after closing this, you can see we have this vertical layout, and that is a row.1. So you can see we have this as 0 and this is a 1. So 0 is a carousel, and now 1 is the vertical stack layout. Now, when you go to this carousel, we have this item source, and now we are binding this item source to the book list that we created. Remember that this collection, observable collection that we created in the code behind file, that is the book view model. So, and this, we are set creator indicator view as indicator view. So this is a name that we are making a reference to. We give it this carousel a name. Then we have this as position change. So this is an event. Then we're going to create this event over here. Then loop, we set it to 4. So when it loops from the 1, 2 up to the 3rd one, you can't just click on it again to go to the next one, unless you can just go back. Okay, but you can't go, you can see, you can't just return like this and you restart. No, it doesn't restart. You can just move, but as soon as you get to the last one, it doesn't restart. As you can see, it doesn't restart. That's because of this loop. Then here we need to create a data template or item template to just have to display this list of items here. That's an image, the title, and the description. So that's exactly what we are doing here. We have to specify the data type as book, because the book here, it is an object data type, and that's what we need to specify all the properties over here. The next thing that we are doing here is, you see, we have this vertical stack layout. Now, when we check this, we arrange this and that, and this button. So we have this text title over here. We have this, and that's the description, and we have those over inside this grid. Now when you check this vertical stack layout, you can see we have this button, our image. So this button and our image. Okay, so there's an image here. So we see this is a button. We also give it a reference of a button name. We set the width request, height request, vertical options, and background color, font attribute, margin, and a corner radius is set to 0. And now when it is clicked, so here we are using this event-driven method. So when this is clicked, then what you want to do is you want to create a method that's going to handle the click event. And I can see we have with the same horizontal stack layout. So the horizontal stack layout is going to make it arrange the text in a horizontal form. So this button is over here, and now this image also will be at this side because the horizontal line. Okay, so we have it. And as you can see from here, we're going to use this image behavior. So that is where we use the current2k.MAUI. The image, actually, the color of this icon here was black. But you can see from here, we change it to white because we use this tint color to change the image colors. When you check this, the normal color for this button arrow, you can see here it is black. But at the end using over here, it is what? White. It is because of this tint color, so we change to white. And that is coming from this current2k. So in order to do this, you have to include this, the namespace, XML namespace, then you pass it over here as 2k. You have to include this line. Then you can now use image.border behaviors, then 2k.icon tint color behavior. Then you can now change the color of the image. Very well, fantastic. Now, once you're done with this, the next thing you're doing here is the indicator view, and that is what you saw in this. So that is the customized one. This is just a customized one. Default one just have just a line, but this is a customized one. With the customization, you can see we have this indicator template, as you know, for everyone, every component. I like saying component, every view, right? Now, see, we have this data template over here, and now we could see we want to specify our own. So we create our border. Then within the border, we set this height and our width request. Then the stroke color, and that is the output of what you are seeing over here. Okay, now this is the name that we set up. This is the name, and I'm making a reference of this name inside this cursor view. So you can create connection between them. And that is the reason why I see, if I click on this, you can see quickly, it jumps to the last end. Is it the last or the first? Last, right? The first? Yeah. Click on this, that's the middle one, second one, and I can see it is working as expected. I didn't do anything magic. It is just an indicator view name references, and also pinch it over here to create this connection. Okay, then the next one that we are doing here is, that is the indicator view. All right, so we've talked about this already. So that is it. Very simple one. Okay, so very simple. Yeah. And now let's go back to the click event. So you can see we have this position change. Now, if I click on this, as soon as we get the last one, so when you get to the last one here, the position has changed. So we can now check this. Before that, you can see we have to give this button a name. We did not specify the text for this button. We give it just a name over here. So let's go back to this main page.xml.cs. In order to get that, you see from here, we are using this. So when that button is clicked, okay, we can just have access to this cursor item, my cursor.cursor item. Now, let's have a look here. Cursor item, that is the name that we give up to our cursor item or cursor view from here. You can see we have this cursor name. What is the cursor? That is this, and you can see we have this name over here. So when you call this name, you're going to have the access to data source and everything of this. And that's exactly what we are doing. So when this button is clicked, we are checking if the item source, we cast it to an object, is the last one. If it's the last one, then navigate to this book homepage. That's the next view. So when you check here, as soon as it gets the last one, click on this, you're going to navigate to the next page. So, okay, so you can see, and it is a work of this. If it is not, then you want to move to the next item. So let's say we are here. Since I click on this, move to the next item, and that is going to work. Now let's have a look with this. What is this going to do? Let's come back here. The change of the text. So let's see. We are setting it to this position change, and that is the work of this cursor position change event. So when that is clicked, we are checking is the current position is equal to the current count of the items in it minus 1. Currently, we have 3 items, and now this is what? The position here also, it must supposed to be 3, isn't it? Yeah, so they must be equal. The count of the item must be equal to the count of position. So now we are checking that if the current position here is equal to the total items here minus 1, meaning we are the current one. Okay, so that is, let's say here we have 3, and now this is going to be 2. So as soon as we get to the second one and it's equal to the second one here, this is a 2, then what do you want to do? We want to just change this color. Okay, because if you check this, this is the first one. So this is the first, it's going to move, then it's going to move to the next one. Okay, so that's the count. Now in case it is equal to that, then with this what we are doing, we want to change this button background color. Then want to change the button, the text color. So initially when the page loads, we set the text color. And as soon as we click on that, we set it over here. When we get to the last one, set it as get started. Okay, then this is not the last but one, because you have -1. So last but one, and that is the third one. So, and here too, as soon as maybe you go back, you want to now return. So check what over here. I click on this, you see there's going to change. So this event is going to get fired. I click on this, and this is going to get fired. Okay, so that's what we are doing. Now we are not doing anything magical. That is a very simple thing, right? And that's what we are doing. Now when you go back to this view model, I added this. I notify property change, but I did not use them. So don't worry, we can just remove them from here because we are not using this property change event. So let's clean up this code so you don't get scared. So let me just remove all this. Okay, and I can now change this as well. Okay, now if I save this, let's see if truly I'm not using it. Let's build this project again and see if it's going to work. Yeah, before we do that, I forgot one thing. You can see from here that we have to create a new component, and that is the name that I gave it to. That's a book homepage. So when you check this, you can see we are navigating to that homepage. This is a book homepage. And after creating this component, if you don't know how to do that, you have to right click on this, maybe pages or this project, then click on add new item, click on new item. And what you have to choose here is a new .NET MAUI. Click on the XML file, give it a name, click on add, and now go to MAUI-program.cs. You have to register that. So here, the model that we created, we are registering it over here. And you can see we are registering the main page and also the book home page. So we have to register them so we can navigate from this page to this page. We also have to register this view model so we can inject it, right, in the page. Then we can initialize it. As you can see from here, we are injecting it into this main page.xml.cs. So we have to register before you can do this like that. Okay, that is it. Let's try to run this. I believe this is work. Let's run it and see. Alright, so it is ready. Now let's see, maybe the cleanup won't affect this. I click on this. Yes. Let's see. Okay, so click on this. Alright, so it is working. But why the view is not changing? Okay, so it is working now. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so it is working. Okay. Yeah, so it is working. Alright, so you can see this is very simple, isn't it? I'll put this at the GitHub, check the description, and you can just have the source code. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'm going to catch you up in the next video.